Welcome back, everybody. We are back for our third of five segments, portions of the day, whatever I've chosen to call these, which I haven't decided on yet, technically, even though it's already halfway through the day. Anyway, we're going to draft some Arena, some of the Powered Cube draft. Now, if you're not familiar with Arena, it's Magic the Gathering's online version of their card game. The Powered Cube draft is they took a bunch of really powerful cards from across Magic history, put them in a group, and you get to pick cards, open some packs, pick cards out of those packs, and play with those cards. So we're going to do that. But first things first, realized we hit $200, so that means I should step up to the next hot sauce, right? Because that thing up in the corner over there, oh no, wait, over there in that direction, says $216 out of 1,000. So that means we are stepping up to the unfortunately named hot sauce called the Butt Bubbler. The description of this one says, in a secret location, I combined the finest tomatoes, rich garlic, parmesan, the hottest, most fragrant, spicy peppers, and other secret and epic ingredients to create the Butt Bubbler. If you consume this hot sauce, then your butt will be bubbling. That's it. That's the story. I didn't make up that last part. It says that's it. That's the story on the bottle itself. So, like I said, the guys who make it get to make up the story themselves. So, let's give this a shot. We got some more popcorn chicken. I'm going to put a little in the dish here, and we're going to actually, here, I got the same dish we had the sweet sting in. So I'm going to put a little in that one. Ooh. You definitely smell the Parmesan in it. That's... Oh, come on. Let's give this a little shake. All right, there we go. Get a little out into the bowl here. Come on. This one's much thicker than the sweet sting. Also, I think there's some stuff that kind of congealed in the neck. Okay, you can definitely smell more heat in this one, so. Here, let's take what we got there and try a piece. All right, let's give this a shot. Okay. I like that. It's almost like a spicy tomato sauce. Like that would be really good on like a chicken parmesan or with some pasta or something like that. That'd be good with something because it's you definitely get tomato, like roasted tomato, like it says. You definitely get parmesan notes, but then at the end of it, you get a little bit of heat. You get a little bit of heat coming in the back end of it. So, no, I like that. That's good. I would like to try some more. But if you want me to try more, if you want me to get even spicier with the sauce, you gotta donate. You gotta donate. So if we want to get to Gut Grenade and the Mexorcist and Taste Bud Trauma and the No-No sauce, the 6 million Scoville No-No sauce, you gotta donate. So let's get those coming in. Sitting at $216 already. Super, super generous of y'all. Always appreciate it. Means a lot to me. Means a lot to the kids. And it could mean I eat some hot sauce. So that's all up to you, though. But for now, let's get jumping in and let's draft some Power Cube. Now, luckily, you can pay. There's several different currencies in the game. Speaking of, there's a donation coming in. Thank you very, very much, Lynn and Neil. So let's jump back into the chicken nuggets, I suppose, and do some more. I'm going to need some more in the bowl here. Like I said, the end's got a little bit of a cloggage in it despite our shake, so let's get that out the way. There we go. Milestone completed, sauce upgraded. Wait, that's what we're doing right now. All right. So that's incredibly generous donation from Lynn and Neil. Thank you so much. Means a lot that you support not me. You support my fundraiser that I'm doing in efforts for Alberta Children's Hospital Foundation. So thank you again so much for that. It's been every year since I've been going. Let's get the total. We're up to over $350. So thank you so much. So that means I get 5 more pieces of chicken. Right, 225. Math. I've been up for a while. 25, 50, 75, 0, 25, 50. So 6 more pieces of chicken. But yeah, this hot sauce is good. I like it. Think of like a spicy tomato sauce. Yeah, Parmesan, roasted tomato, garlic, and now the heat. And not a huge amount. You definitely get like a little bit of back end heat from it. But keep in mind, this is only level 2 of 5 levels. So, first 2 levels, pretty good. We had our sweet sting, very reminiscent of like a sweet chili sauce. Now this is the butt bubbler, which I'm saying like a spicy tomato sauce. So I'm really liking both of these so far. If you would like to purchase these, I'm not sponsored, not available, but if either of these sound at all intriguing, you can actually purchase them at hungryboy.food, or they're also available. You can find them there's a certain store. They sell all the t-shirts and like skateboarding stuff. I forget the name of it right now, but because I was a little nervous ordering these online that they wouldn't get here in time, so I had to see if I could find them locally, and I would be able to, but they got here about a week and a half ago, so I was okay. All right, 1 more piece of chicken, and then we'll get playing some Magic. Yeah, a fan of both of these sauces so far, the Sweet Sting and the Butt Bubbler. Fan of both. All right, let's play some Magic. And once again, thank you for everyone for donating. It means a lot, and I appreciate it very much. I got squirrel sleeves. Just for drafting. This is my little avatar. His name's Tezzeret in the story. Somebody needs to click ready. I don't know who's number 8, but click ready, please. Are they waiting? Or did they step away? Oh, no, there we go. Alright, so if you're new to Magic, you may not recognize any or very few of these cards, because a lot of them are very old or very high-end and powerful. The Fleam. That's like actually the most recent set. This first card we have. Oko, Thief of Crowns, Prismatic Vista, fetch land for any color of land. Adeline, Memory Lapse, Hull Breacher. Mono red is usually very good in these. Magda, not the best mono red card. Urza Saga, if we want to go artifacts, or just a Mox Ruby for mono red. Oko, very good though. I think Adeline, just for the white-red tokens, Boros tokens deck. Adeline, power is equal to the number of creatures you control, and whenever you attack for each opponent, make a 1/1 human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or planeswalker they control. So Adeline's power on her own, she'll be a 1/4 because she's a creature. When she attacks, she'll be a 2/4. We got a Lightning Bolt, which is a solid Thalia. Let's go Bolt. Yeah, let's go Bolt. Fancy Bolt, too. Lightning Bolt, 1 red, deal 3 to any target. Player, creature, planeswalker, whatever you want to legal target you want to target it with. And a staple of red decks. In any format it's legal in for a very long time. Who are we drafting with? Blade Runner, Super Zero, Edgelord, The Fugitive, Skittle of War, and Zachnafane. Ooh, Shieldred. Very good. Mox Opal for those artifact decks. People the Mirrorbreaker. Making copies of things, you say? Could go black-white. That's a thing we could do. Mirrorbreaker's good, but we don't have anything to copy. Usually you can go infinite with that card. Let's just go Shieldred. Shieldred's a very good card. Now we can kind of split black-white if we need to. Because mono-red in this format is a very popular draft type, so chances are somebody's already taken red, aside from us. Ooh, speaking of red, Hazoret, Trumpeting Carnosaur. Hazoret, I think. Oh, Jite. Some good stuff in here. Titania, Fast Bond. Carnosaur, we might not get to 6 mana. Hazoret, there's a better chance of it. And we get the discard a card thing. So it's got reach. Like, not reach, but it can just fly over here our opponents if we need to. So I think it's Hazoret there. With a really cool sound effect when we picked it. I guess technically, I don't really want to count Hazoret as a creature, because it can only attack or block if we have 1 or fewer cards in hand. So it's conditionally a creature, right? Tribal Flames deals X damage to target where X is the number of basic land types, so not a huge amount. Galvanic Blast, 2 to any target. Faithless Looting for card draw. Ivora, when trample when it enters. And whenever it deals come damage, create a blood. Whenever you discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on it. I think just Galvanic Blast there. Or Face Looting. Probably won't control 3 or 4 more artifacts. Let's just draw some cards with some Faithless Looting. Card's been around since about as long as I've been playing Magic. I think it was printed in the original Innistrad block. And that's when I came in. It was just right around when Avacyn Reborn got released. Maybe a little before, a little after, because I didn't go and buy cards right away. Let's see, Virtue Persistence. Solid. Containment Priest. It's good against Reanimator decks. Sophie. Sword of Fire and Ice. I guess Cauldron. So equipment in the Mardu deck is okay. And then we also just have removal with the Persistence. If I go Virtue, that's kind of really going black. So let's take that though, because it's removal early game and it's just winning the game in the late game. So, and we might not end up going white with that line with our first pick. Speaking of black-red, Kroxa. When I enter sacrifice it, each opponent discards a card, and each opponent who didn't loses 3 life. Yeah, I'm just fine with that. It's no Uro, but still fine. Let's see. Goblin Bombardment. Sack a creature. Enchantment deals 1 to any target. It's fine, but we aren't really in the tokens deck right now. 3/2 with Shadows. Shadows says it can only be blocked or be blocked by another creature with Shadow. If a card would be put anywhere in opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile instead with a Void counter on it. Tap and sack it, choose an exiled card. Opponent owns a Void counter on it. You may play it this turn without paying its mana cost. Good hoser to the Reanimate decks, or if things kill, and we have sort of removal, so I think that's gonna make it in. So again, looking less and less likely that Adeline is getting in the final deck. We're back to Fiery Confluence. Destroy an artifact, deal 1 damage to each creature, deal 2 damage to each creature, or all 3 if you pay enough mana for it. Or Magda. We don't really have any other dwarves, so we're going to take the Confluence. And I'm officially cutting Adeline. I've made my decision, I'm officially cutting Adeline. No more wondering. Karizev, an Unholy Heat. Got a decent amount of discard for the Unholy Heat, actually, to go off. So yeah, let's take that. Unholy Heat, 2 damage to creature or planeswalker, or if you have 4 more card types, like artifact, creature, enchantment, etc., deals 6 damage instead. So here, what do we just not want people to play? Don't want to play Reanimator. Carnosaur came back? Okay. All the red cards came back. Galvanic Blast. We still don't have a ton of artifacts. Tribal Flames. It's going to be 2 at most. So let's take the Emplora. Take the sword in case we do end up using it. May not, but... And the Questing Beast also came around. Ooh, Balance is a good card. We have Persist. Yawgmoth. We want life, sack another creature. The Mightstone and Weakstone. Just for looking for stuff we can play. We have Duress. Yawgmoth. Discard a card, Proliferate. So it goes with our discard stuff. Mightstone, Weakstone. Just removal. Of these, I'm leaning Yawgmoth, I think. Because we don't have any huge creatures we can return. Like, aside from the Carnosaur. Seasoned Pyromancer. When it enters, discard 2 cards, then draw 2 cards. For each non-land card discarded grade, make it 1/1 elemental. 3 and 2 red, exile it from your graveyard, make 2 elementals. That or Tersa, or Bolus's Citadel, you say? Bolus Citadel, so yeah, let's go Bolus Citadel. And Grizzlebrand. And Lutri. Yeah, okay, we're getting some hits, fine. And the Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear would be a good way to gain back the life from Bolus's Citadel, but so would Grizzlebrand. We're being greedy. We need some removal now is what we need. Just like solid black, kill that removal. Like Bone Shards. Yeah, a Grave Titan. Grave Titan's fine. It looks better than it is. Let's just get the Bone Shards. In this format, Grave Titan looks better than it is. Still a very good card. Yeah, we got Soph, or Bone Shards, Lightning Bolt, and Holy Heat. What else we got for removal? Fiery Confluence, technically, if somebody comes up against us with a token deck. Virtue Persistence, which also then reanimates things. Ooh, a Nethergoyf. Goblin Rabblemaster. Number of card types. Among cards in your graveyard, what do I have for card types? Instant, sorcery, artifact, enchantment, creature. Ooh, Layella, actually. Top card of your library, play it this turn. One or more cards put into exile from your graveyard and or your graveyard. Put a counter on Layella. So that's fun. This at most is going to be a 5/6. Actually, let's get Layella, because Layella and Kroxa play real nice together. There's a Liliana of the Veil. Overlord of the Baelmerk. Let's get
No
Lily.
more distractions. Let's make this quick.
Good card is good. Lily is good. Mana Tithe. Do I want the white deck countering me? Not really. That's also mean. I don't want it played against me. Metamorphose. Recurring Nightmare. Sacrifice creature, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield, activate only as sorcery. I know there's some mean loops you can make with that, and we got some big stuff I might want to use that to bring back with. And having that second enchantment helps with our Delirium. Persist came back around, so the Duress. All these enters with like Kroxa, Carnosaur. When it enters, discover 5. All these kinds of things. But definitely just more cheap creatures would be a good plan. Lots of removal, lots of utility. Some early creatures to prevent getting run over would be handy. Remember, I promised gameplay. I didn't promise quality gameplay. There's our seasoned Pyromancer. And that's going to create a lot of tokens that we may be able to sacrifice to things. So let's, in fact, grab them, because then we can sacrifice those little tokens to the Recurring Nightmare to bring back big stuff, including the Seasoned Pyromancer. There's our loop. Seasoned Pyromancer, Recurring Nightmare. Because Seasoned Pyromancer comes in, makes 2 tokens. We play the Recurring Nightmare, sacrifice the Pyromancer, return it to our hand, play the Recurring Nightmare, sacrifice a token, returning the Pyromancer to the battlefield, make more tokens, sack it, tick, 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 tick. See how that goes? Is there anything annoying in here from Mirrodin? Clara Commando kills an enchantment, which isn't good for us. Let's just get rid of the Kithian. Inti, whenever you discard a card, you put a counter on it. One more cards. That's fine. Or do you want utility creature? Let's get Inti. Oh, and the Nethergoyf. There's a good early creature now that we have enough card types as well. And the Overlord of the Baelmerk came back. Sure. Sneak attack. Put a creature card from your hand on the battlefield. That creature gains haste. Sacrifice beginning the next step. End step. If Entomb. Search the library for a card. Put it into the graveyard. Karsi Revenant is just good. I think it's just going to be the Revenant. Exile this card for flying lifelink. It's just flying Death Touch lifelink. That's just going to stop a lot of stuff. Slow people down from coming at us. And I think we can get rid of the Sophie. And this looks real good. I'm liking this deck. We got some big stuff to come in, off of the reanimations, off of the recurring nightmares. Still a lot of very good cards in this set, though, so. Like the Cut Down, Yawgmoth's Will. Till the end of turn, we play lands, cast spells from your graveyard. Lewis Pompous Pillager. Lifelink, X counters. When he enters, deals X damage to target opponent. Cauldron Complete. First trample indestructible haste. When you use combat to exile that creature. I'd be looking for creature 14 and 10. Just free sack outlet. The Woe Strider. There's still some good stuff in here. There's Luis. Valky. Each opponent reveals their hand. For each opponent, exile a creature card they revealed this way. If you discard a creature card, exile Valky, becomes a copy. Crabomination. 5/5. When enters target opponent, exiles top card of the library. Card at random from their graveyard and card at random from their hand. You can cast a spell from amongst cards this way for free. I think just Valky. Because we're kind of into the discarding things deck. We're going to have to make some cuts. But we're in like the discard cards, graveyard shenanigans value with Valky / Tybalt don't really do. Because I do not want to exile all graveyards. Sorin House of Markov. Sorin of Out of House Markov. 1/4 lifelink extort. Beginning of each of your post-combat main phase, if you gain 3 more life, exile Sorin, then return to the battlefield. Create a food, deals damage equal to the amount of life you gained. We're not gaining life. FOMO. Robber the Rich. Very good card. FOMO if you're missing out. Talisman, Lingering Souls. Nothing here is like, oh my goodness, we have to. Discard a card? Okay. Let's get that in there, though. Let's take out Valky. It's not doing the stuff we want to do. Fury. And this is where you just take the Fury. Because we're discarding a card, or exiling a red card from your hand, rather. It just deals 4 damage among things, so it's a free kill spell, essentially. Naya, Storyteller, 2-1, enters exile top card of your library, you may play that card as long as you control this creature. Or Corey Steelcutter, which is real good. Not doing stuff we necessarily want to do, though. Like we're casting non-creature or second spell each turn. But it's real broken, real good, and I don't want to leave it in there. Let's see. What isn't discarding things or putting things in the graveyard? Luis isn't really doing that. So let's get rid of that. Kolaghan's Command. We might be playing more than 40 cards. Just maybe. Let's Hazoret discard things. Fiery Confluence takes out the token deck. Put an exile from your graveyard, library graveyard. So that's when we're exiling things, which we have a couple of escape cards. Collective Brutality, Burst Lightning. Exile a card around pay. It's 4 damage you choose among any number of target creatures. That's just Collective Brutality. Like I said, we're going to be making some cuts, because we're at 28, and there's just some real good cards in this bunch of cards. Makes a 0-1, you can escape it. Free sack outlet. Monstrous Rage is just a very good card on its own. Damage to that permanent. So it's an instant, but still that might not be making it in. Take out the tutor. Next, we only have the one thing get us energy, so it is just another lightning bolt. Well, it's not a lightning bolt. There's a different card that it's similar to. Extraordinary cards in hand, excellent card of their library. It's a good card. I've played it a lot. It's just not doing what I want to do here today. And Figure Destiny, also very good. If I were in red-white, it would be a unquestioned include. But we got a couple of cuts to make. So we are on, like, we want to discard cards, get things in the graveyards, bring them back. So what doesn't do that, or doesn't like doing that? Galvanic Discharge is there. Collective Brutality lets us discard things. Removes creatures. Drains gains. Opponents. Just, I like this because it gives us something from our opponent, and it hoses them in case something dies. FOMO, discards and draws. Inti, whenever you attack, you may discard a card. Ivora, whenever he deals combat damage, make a blood token, which lets us discard things. Kroxa, each opponent discards a card. And again, like graveyard shenanigans. That's how you say that. Layla doesn't do a ton of stuff. Destroying an artifact, turn target creature from graveyard to hand. 2 damage to any target. I do like damage going upstairs. Like 2 damage to any target can mean 2 damage to an opponent directly, or 2 damage to a creature of theirs. And I do like just doing opponent damage sometimes. So that... Confluence or Kolaghan's Command? Let's have one of these. Let's go Kolaghan's Command. Just as it's a little more versatile and a little easier to cast. Carnosaur, Citadel, Virtue, Griselbrand. Let's just... So we got 17 lands, so that means we're at 28 cards. So we have to make 5 more cuts, or just throw in more land. And now we're done. you're wondering why I'm drinking Pepsi in the morning, I've been up for about 12 and a half hours already, so realistically this is like my 6, 7 o'clock. Somewhere in there. So I'm drinking Pepsi. Can't keep that. This we can, though, and we get rid of... I persist. Play another... If we get a swamp, play Voidwalker. Never mind. I technically can't cast anything in my hand. Closest is the Pyromancer on turn 3, but... As far as they knew, I just drew a land. Beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 creature card from the graveyard. Whenever one or more, just going to put on this creature, put a creature on the battlefield, and yeah, nope, we're getting rid of that right now. Not only that, but it lets us Virtue Persistence go into the Adventure Zone, so we can cast the second half later. Has that indestructible haste. Next turn, we will have 1 or fewer cards in hand, so she will be able to attack or block next turn. I got a Wasteland, but I have no non-basics. What now? What now, I say? Are they thinking, or are they what's called roping out? Roping out is when somebody's like delaying on purpose because they're kind of a little tilted. Maybe they're a little like, oh, I'm not doing good, or this isn't going how I want to, I'm just going to sit here. And sometimes they'll do that just in the hopes that, like, you'll rage out. But I'm also a fairly brisk Magic player, so I don't know. Each creature has controls search library for a base land card. These players put those cards on the battlefield tapped and then shuffle. Let's get a mountain. I have no creatures in my graveyard. Block with the Emperor, give it protection with Giver? Maybe. No? Okay. I like how that the auto-tapper tapped wrong for Layla, so I couldn't Layla and a Pyromancer in the same turn. Thanks, auto-tapper. Appreciate it. Because it tapped... I needed 3 reds, 1 for Layla, 2 for Pyromancer, and it tapped 2 reds for Layla. So... Let's just attack with Layla. Nice. That was a very good hit from Layla. We also get a second card for free. Lightning Bolt. The Giver of Runes. The O2 Giver of Runes. The very big Layla, the Blade Reforged. She's doing more work than I thought she would. So without protection and trample, it does not work the way the defender wants it to work. Because it's whatever would be lethal. One would be lethal if it didn't have protection, and the rest tramples over. Are they going to do it? No. Okay. Let's just go wide. Pyromancer. And Unholy Heat the Giver. We can. It's instant. Let's leave that and do that at instant speed if we can. Draw 2 cards, reach an all-in card, discard this way, create 1 run. Yeah. I have so many zones. My hand, the graveyard, the adventure zone. Cool. That was good. I like. Opponent didn't do a ton, but ours was fun. I like the way our deck played. The like zones and graveyard and value and discarding and the Nickonator. Their name is probably Nick. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm willing to, you know, semi-educated guess. You get a little mascot in these games, so you get your avatar, the little, like, your picture, quote-unquote, your picture. And then you get a little buddy. Mine's the cat. You can pet the cat. The same Emperor of Bones. Choose 2 target creature cards for target creature. Target player discards a card. Let's just Layla here. Kroxa goes away. So the Emperor Bones, in combination with our kind of Reanimator deck, doesn't feel great. Discard a card. they haven't at the beginning of combat yet, so let's discard the Voidwalker, because we can't cast it. And we're gonna kill the Emperor Bones on our next turn anyway, so not super worried. Discard a card, trigger each -2/2. Opponent reveals their hand, chooses a sorcery card. So here, let's Collective Brutality. Give the Emperor -2/2, and have a look at an opponent's card. -2/2. That one, and that one. And discard the Grizzlebrand. Booster tutors in this? And that's game. Because they attack us with the Archon, we take the 5 and take 3 from the Archon's effect. So, like I said, these games, because the cards are so big and powerful, can be over relatively quickly. Like this little background from New Capenna. New Capenna is a setting in Magic the Gathering that's very, like, 1920s, 30s inspired, like the girders, the Art Deco style, everything, the clothing you can even see there. Got Discharge and Holy Heat persist. The Carnosaur. Yeah, so we can, for example, we could on turn 3 kill something with the Trumpeting Carnosaur, then bring it back with Persist, and get a free thing from the Carnosaur entering on turn 4. So we had a 7/6 trample and something else for free. A Creeping Tar Pit. It's a land that turns into a creature. Evora? Yeah, sure. Because now we can just discard the Carnosaur that way if we want. Yeah, so what's the best use of our mana? So we can get rid of the Carnosaur now, and then bring it back next turn, plus kill... Yeah, I think that's best, so let's do that. Let's discard the Carnosaur. Counter on Evora. FOMO. Swamp. Persist the Carnosaur, and we'll see what we get off of it. Recurring Nightmare. Seems good. Then we're gonna Galvanic Discharge the Emissary. Cool. Decent turn. Fight this artifact, each player exiles all cards from their hand face down, draws 7. At the beginning of the next end step, each player discards their hand and returns to their hand each card they exile this way. So you have like a temporary hand. Not gonna blood token here, I don't think. Okay, so I think we gonna keep that in my hand. Let's just FOMO. Let's play out our FOMO. Let's discard the Citadel. Play with Mountain. So now we can Unholy Heat at instant speed as well. And get in for 9? Question mark? Maybe? Yeah, so we could, if we want to, pop a blood token that lets us discard and then draw a card. We could discard the Virtue Persistence. We'd have a 4th card type in our graveyard, which sets off the Fear of Missing Out, so whenever it attacks something of ours, this is just good for us. Something of ours gets to attack twice. So they get a whole new hand to play with. So do we, including our Kolaghan's Command. Discards a card, destroy artifact, 2 damage chain target. Right. They have 6, 7 mana. They can still do a lot in a Grixis deck with 7 mana. Like, that's almost... Well, they couldn't ultimatum. Unless they play something else, but... Wouldn't be surprised to see a concession. Each dominant card in your graveyard escape cost equal to the cards and plus exile 3 cards from your graveyard. Okay. A card from at random in player's hand. You draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. Oh, a bauble. What do they get to see? So they saw, I have a mountain. They have 5 mana left. They are digging. Them digging is good for us. It means they don't have an answer in hand, right? And I mean, with the Recurring Nightmare, it's hard to have an answer in hand because we just get whatever they kill back. There are 2 cards. Discard 2. Are they trying to draw out? That'd be cool. They're down to 13 cards, so... They have a Lab Maniac? There's a card that says if you try to draw a card when your library has no cards left in it, you win instead of lose. Do I want to do that? Destroy target artifact, heals 2 damage chain target. Because the Kolaghan's Command is pretty dang good. And they're going to have 1 mana left over after this. Yeah, let's just do that now. Let's have them discard a card and do that. They have 1 mana left. And I can do 4 to something with Fury. Can you get yourself to 2? Because I can Fury you to death. Do this again. And then I can Fury you. Oh, no, it's just creatures or planeswalkers. Yeah, you can Taxian probe yourself to death. That's cool. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate this. This is very cool. I've never played Fury before. I thought it was face. It'd be even more ridiculous if it was face, but I've only ever seen that card played. Yeah, I don't know what... I mean, if they didn't do several things on that turn, like they had to kill 2 of our creatures that turn, or get rid of them in some form or fashion, they were kind of hooped if they didn't do that. So they had to dig for answers, but at a certain point I think they realized they couldn't do much. Because usually, not always, but usually that artifact deck is based around lots of small creatures. So when I took out that one creature that made a bunch of things, they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is good. We got Voidwalker, Looting, Carnosaur, Yawgmoth. Nice little 1, 2, 3, 4 curve. If and we want it. Shadow Spear, you say? Cool lands from EOE. Did they get the Malevolent Rumble deck? Prop rotation, sneak attack. Now they have to kill the Voidwalker, which they're in red, probably can. Told ya. Discard this swamp, and then draw another swamp. Sneak attack something in? What do you got? Big Eldrazi? I guess? Put the Shadow Spear on it and gain some life? Sure. Make a clue. There's our Kolaghan's command for the spear. Yeah, I think I just... Actually, here, let's see something. We might be able to do something kind of cheeky. And get rid of the Fanatic and the Shadow Spear in the same turn if they block. Mm. Okay, fine. Let's just stop there. I mean, if you can pay a red rather than whatever the creature is, that's makes sense, right? The Tarmogoyf, you say? Your graveyard to your hand. I'm gonna get the Voidwalker back. Let's do that. Target artifact, get a creature back. They do one more with the Tarmogoyf, but don't know why they didn't also attack with the Fanatic there, but Swamp, Voidwalker. Here we can attack in again. We already played our trick. Play it again. Pay the red. You gotta have one or two big Eldrazi, because we saw an Ulamog go by. Big 11 mana thing. Sacrifices an enchantment of their choice. So that's the FOMO. One mana short of Citadeling. And trumpeting Carnosaurring as well. Each opponent and each planeswalker they control. Let's transform side. Haste 2/2. Okay. That's a card. The lifelink. So if we do end up playing the Citadel, we can get something back. We are very much the aggressor now. I got the Unholy Heat, so unless they draw something really big, we also have the Revenant that has Death Touch, too, come to think of it. They have the 2/2 Elvish Mystic. We in trouble now. Cool. Liliana. They can't. Oh no, they can't eternalize it because it'll get exiled because of the Voidwalker.
Off you go.
I thought that for a second, but I'm like, oh yeah, never mind. We fine. So let's leave that back and attack with those two. Because if they do play something gigantic with haste, I want the Death Toucher back. Please and thank you. Yeah, it's fine. Even block. So, look at the top 5 cards library and reveal a creature card from among them. Put it into your hand. Or they can get something for the sneak attack. Birds of Paradise, alright. And why not? It gets haste now, but it just gets sacrificed at the end of turn. And here's where they lose, because we block there. And we got a Holy Heat there. They sacrifice that at the end of turn, comes back, they take 8. So they don't die. Real close, though. Yeah, just gonna get rid of Faithless Looting. Yeah. As I said, play it with this turn without paying its mana cost. Anything with haste. Snake Druid. No, nothing with haste in their exile. This is where it would actually be handy to have something with haste, or something that could sacrifice other things. Because I kind of just... I don't want to leave myself open for something from sneak attack. That's the biggie. Blue and white. No, okay. Fine. Now it's game. It's like I said, this could be some giant, ridiculous Eldrazi that they play off the sneak attack. The sneak attack is an enchantment. We almost picked one. This is pay a red, put something from your hand to the battlefield. You don't have to pay the actual cost for it. But you sacrifice it at the end of turn, so... Alright, so this deck's doing good so far. Not the one opponent's deck did some stuff, but the other two didn't really. And we went up against that Reanimator deck that just popped off on turn 2, and there's not much you can do about that. The Poopo. Yeah, this'll do. Inti turn 2. We'll draw a Swamp, and we can Recurring Nightmare or Virtue. See, there's our Swamp. I told you we draw it. Never didn't have it. Draw a card. Oh, they got Lurrus. All the cheap stuff, eh? We play Layla next turn. I mean, it's all dependent on what opponent does, but... Now they tap to play something, or tap to bounce Inti. Because Karakas here can return target legendary creature to its owner's hand, including my legendary creatures. the bubble. Yeah, I think it's just Layla. It will probably bounce Layla. Or that. That was my other guess. They bounce Layla off the stack, technically. And Swamp. Oh no, they saw Fury. Mardu little things, because they have Lyris. Is there Go Wide? Mardu Go Wide? I can just play Fury. Yeah. Play Layla. Round number 2 for Layla. Laelia. I know it's Laelia. It's a lot in the mouth, Laelia, so... Now is when you bounce, unless you want me to exile top card. Self-mill. Let's get rid of the Swamp. Bone shards, no. Deck has to have the Kithian. Well, I took a Kithian. It might have another Kithian. Because I took the first one. Oh, it's the Triome. 3-colored land. Plink. One back. So let's just play Fury. The next turn, if we draw land, we could Virtue Persistence Hazoret. Cool. Bounce an Inti. The Karakas sure makes Hazoret less effective, I will say. It's like Mardu small creatures control? Four-color small? 5-color small creature control? There's probably some kind of combo in there. You get all 5 colors. You gotta be able to kill a 3/3. I believe in you. I'm not being sarcastic. I genuinely think Fury is not long for this world. And we could Recurring Nightmare Inti. Sacrifice Inti, get Fury back if they kill it. Or get Laelia back. Well, here they're gonna pop off. They're gonna do something crazy now. Another creature. X from the top. Ah, okay. So we do that. We do that. And I do that. And then I sacrifice a creature to get that back. Inti. Ah, not the persist. Have the recurring nightmare. Lion's Eye Diamond, so free, discard your hand, sacrifice the artifact, add 3 mana of any one color. Usually you'll play that when your hand is empty, so you can sack it to get more mana to do other onboard shenaniganery. Let's see. Hazoret the Fur. Probably have a counter, so I'm not going to Recurring Nightmare. Fair. Exile the top card. It's Fury. Who knew? Bounce and or kill Laelia? Exile Laelia, you say? So let's get the Recurring Nightmare out there. And I can Fury... Discard as you choose among any number of target creatures that are planeswalkers. Can't attack block. So I evoke by exiling Hazoret, put it out, sack it to get... Yeah, not really worth it. To get Inti back. But I can, next turn, potentially, like, X Hazoret. Which would be good, or just the Virtue of Persistence. Ooh, they have a Jace. Okay, there's I can return a Thraben Inspector. It's the only creature they have, and I have an Inti. Not the curtains. Okay, so I have 7 mana. And they can bounce something. So let's... Let's do this. Jace -3/-3 until end of turn, maybe. Good. Means we can do this. draw their counter. Very nice. So next turn we can potentially play Fear, sack it to get back Hazoret. Oh, Hazoret got exiled. Like I said, exile this is very relevant for decks like ours that wants to do stuff with graveyard shenanigans. Discard if you're missing out, and draw insignificant stuff. I'm guessing. Or Yawgmoth. You know, either one. I have a lot of legendary creatures, I'm just realizing now. Target creature gets -2/-2. Target opponent loses life. You gain 2 life. Reveals from your hand. Insert target sorcery. So I think we just Yawgmoth. And then do this. Targeting Kythian. Well, whatever we play it on, they're going to bounce. Makes that difficult. This being a sorcery is real awkward. And now they can flip Kythian. Flip Kythian and flip Jace. And I'm kinda boned. Alright. I guess they could only flip one of either Kythian or Jace, and Jace of those two is the one to flip in that scenario. Because they flip into Planeswalkers, you see. Yeah, the Karakas is kind of... In this format, that's a very good card. There's so many legendary creatures. Like, even look at theirs. Of all the cards in exile, 1, 2... 2 of the 3 creatures we have in exile. And 1 of the 2 creatures we have in our graveyard. So 4 of the 7 creatures of our deck right now are all legendary.
Nice day for an expedition.
They're probably gonna consider draw some cards. Lost to Tendrils. That's perfectly fine to me. Oh, that was one not enough by one many Tendrils. Do they have to pay for it with that? Okay, now they can Tendrils again. Yeah.
What a refreshing thought.
To be killed by Tendrils on Arena? I am fine with that. That was a very cool deck. 5-color control. All right, we're on the bubble now. 2 losses. If you get 7 wins, you win out and you win the top prizes. Or if you get 3 losses, you're out. Either way, and we are at 3-2 currently. The Kiora lifeguard. Couldn't think of the word for a second. The bad brain is starting to set in from weird sleep schedule. Playing another Lurrus deck. Are they doing the same thing? Question mark? Types in number of card types in your graveyard plus 4. Kamami. 0-1. Whatever our opponent plays, we can destroy it either this turn or next turn. One of the two. With one of the 2 removal spells in our hand. Like the Jite. As we has this. Destroy the Jite and make them discard a card, please. They have a Fury that they want to play. Or the Blue Fury? Get in there for 1. There we go. Second spell. That's either of my cards. So you make me discard the Revenant, which is probably the better play, because you're going to get more monks with the Steel Cutter anyway. Exile this card from grab, applying counter Death Touch, lifelink. On that. And I'm just going to do this now. Only instance in the yard. Because the Revenant's in graveyard. The top 4 cards, maybe a non-creature, non-land from among them, put in your hand. Bitter Triumph. There goes the Nethergoyf. They have spent a lot of cards to get rid of said Nethergoyf. Any number of other cards from graveyard with 4 or more card types among them. Okay. Yeah, because I can do that at instant speed. Let's just do this now. We're gonna make them earn their monks. Corey Steelcutter, whenever you cast your second spell this turn, you get to make a 1/1 monk creature token with prowess and attach the equipment to it automatically. I didn't see Booster Tutor in my... Must be the most recent set they picked from. I have no idea. But for 1 mana, open a booster, put a card from it in your hand, That's pretty good. It does have to be your colors. You'd have to be able to cast it, but they have 4 colors right now, so they're doing fine. Having trouble deciding? Oh, and their deck... permanent in your starting deck. Okay, so they can get something more expensive than Lurrus lets them, because Lurrus says each permanent in your starting deck has to be that price. Urza, Lord High Artificer. Okay. Okay. They can't play it right now, at least. They have no creatures in their graveyard. Lurrus, a permanent spell. They have the Jite, so they can Lurrus and play the Jite out again. Oh, Jite's 2. I thought it was 1. It's 2 red. Yeah, let's gonna get rid of that thing. So I have instant and creature. Still no 4 types to let the Nethergoyf escape. Escape. So I think we may very shortly be doing another draft. Because they have a removal spell if we play a creature. Really? Really? Can you really release priority to me, please? You want me to discard a card? Fine, I'll discard a card. There. Discarded a card. So the, 4 or 5 color Lurrus control decks seem good. When we don't draw things, anyway. Mountain. Good game. Alright, another draft time. Luckily, I had a token that did not spend any actual gems or anything on that. Couple of old packs. I will open the packs before we head out, too. Might just have enough time to, get the draft in, maybe play a game, maybe 2, depending on how quickly things go. Always waiting on that last person, tell ya. Click ready. If it's the same last person as last time, like, come on, buddy. I mean, odds are very slim that it is. Very slim, but still. Timed out. And we're gonna make us all click on ready again. I mean, stuff comes up, so I don't want to judge too harshly, so, but still. You might get a phone call, somebody comes to the door. Time Twister. Alright. Wheel of Fortune. So the wheel... I heard you like drawing cards deck. Alright. Ghostfire Slice. Tersa, Figure of Destiny. Where you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, put a +1/+1 counter to Naya, remove 2 counters, exile top card to library. You can play that this turn. Is it just Twister? Each player shuffles their hand into their library, then draws 7 cards. Each player discards their hand, then draws 7 cards. I just like, let's Figure Destiny. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. See if we can get that mono red-white thing going. Chandra Torch of Defiance or Cosmogrand Zenith. This one starts creating tokens, or starts putting counters on things. Laelia. Enters like the top. Look at your opponent's hand and choose a card type other than creature. I think this is just a Laelia pick. Because that helps the Cosmogrand go off, because we can play cards. We got removal, like the Overlord. We got mana sinks, like the Figure of Destiny. Very quickly become an 8/8 flyer with life, or 8/8 flyer with first strike. Kroxa, Loot, Nexus. Nexus of Becoming. At the beginning of your turn, draw a card. Then you may exile an artifact or a creature card from your hand. If you do, your token's copy of the exiled card, but it's a 3/3 golem. Do we have draw card? No. Discard card? No. We just start going the good stuff route. Tarmogoyf is just good early aggression. Got another Fury. Marcher Light's good removal. Unholy Heat. I think the Fury, just solid versatile. We got a lot of red cards we can get rid of if needs be. Tarmogoyf's gonna hang out for now. I don't know if it's gonna stick around though. We'll see. Ben's Half Badger. Rinse and Repeat. Code. Timmy B. Finn's Lynx and Cystic. Ooh, Draconautics Engineer. Containment Priest. Yeah, let's go Draconautics Engineer. Renin 6 is nice. Giver of Runes. Voice of Victory. Yes, please. In this kind of deck, we don't want our opponent touching our stuff during our turn. Voice of Victory is a 1/3 with Mobilize 2, so when it attacks, it makes 2 little 1/1s that are also attacking until the end of turn. So if Purphoros is in this, that would be great. Ghostfire Slice. Spell costs 2 less to cast. If an opponent controls a multicolored permanent, deals 4 damage to any target. Get in here. Ooh, Prismatic Ending is still there. Just cast a spell. Or just artifacts creature. It's a creature though, and creatures can be somewhat easily removed. Virtual Loyalty. versus Chandra. I think just Virtue, because it makes creature early, it's sticks around late, unexpectedly absent. For now we got good creatures early in the pack, good removal late in the pack. And even a land. We got Sneak Attack, but we got Flage. Sure. Let's get our on-color, dual-color god. Let's do that. Legion Extruder, when it enters, it deals 2 damage to any target. 2 and tap, sack another artifact. Create a 3/3 Golem. Showdown of the Scalds, exile top 4 cards library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. Whenever you cast a spell this turn, put a counter on target creature you control. Ugin, which is just, the end of the game. Detective's Phoenix, Bestow, collect evidence 6, Flying Haste. Container +2/+2, Flying Haste. Cast a card from your graveyard using its Bestow. Nova Hellkite. Oh, there's a lot of good cards in this pack. Number of colors, game to draw a card.
My timeless wisdom.
A lot of stuff is on color, but Ugin just wins games. Like, Intrepid Adversary, if you can pump it a couple times, and your whole board gets huge. Exile. Rex's base land types you control. Enchantment enters, exile 1 target creature until it leaves. Removal, O-ring type removal. Color spell. Lauren. Sword of Fire and Ice. Chain Lightning. This is some good enchantment removal. So maybe we take that. I don't know if we play that. Let's take Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning's lower to the ground. Because we have 11 points of burn in the deck now. We get the other Overlord. Dark Depths. Or the thing that gets stuff out of graveyard. That's going to be relevant. As we've seen already. Goblin Bombardment. Kithian. Good early creature. A couple of our other early creatures that we have. Where it enters or attacks, deals 3 damage to any target, not gain 3 life. And we got a Hazaret here too. Look at us go. We got Sneak Attack came back, Faithless Looting, Shadow Spear is very good, Endstone, are you playing again? Yeah, let's just get the Shadow Spear. A little surprised that's still here. That is a very good card. I think we took the Flage over it when it came around. And our expensive card, like Overlord, that's probably going to get played for 4 a lot of the times. And all the cards we want to get back. The Extruder. See, it's not a colorless spell, though, so it doesn't set auto off. We have Showdown, which is good for card draw, actually. Let's grab that, just in case we start going long. The Extruder, we just don't have a ton of artifacts to sack to it. Like we have 1, the Shadow Spear, and I'd rather, if it can be helped, I'd rather not sack the Shadow Spear. Just get rid of Grizzlebrand. Let's get rid of Nissa.
I will aid you.
No, you won't. You're not going in the deck. Some of them have little voice lines when you draft them. She said, I will aid you. No, you won't. Let's get rid of Golos. And the Outland Liberator. A lot of blue cards. We got Splicer, Lightning Bolt, Fiery Confluence, Rabble Master. Bolt. Secondary kind of burn deck. Glimmer Lens, an Ares creature, and at least one other creature. Attack, draw a card. Arid Mesa, make the on-color fetch. Got the any-color fetch. When it deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token, an excellent top card of that player's library. Or Beza. Be aggressive. Gideon. Monetary Mentor. I think Gideon as a curve topper just might be the play. Well, that's kind of just win, but...
I walk a righteous path.
So, that was Travis Willingham. Grim Lavamancer, a Braid. Braid only hits creatures. Reprieve. Cards from your creature deals 2 damage to any target. Yeah, let's go Lavamancer. Okay. So gonna keep that in. Keeping Layla, Flage, Voice. Lion Sash is just very good utility. Times with me Valor counters on this creature. +1 for each Valor counter. Creature control attacks. Creature deals 1 damage. Player it's attacking. I do like a Hell Rider. So we might. I think we're cutting Ugin. We're just not going to get there. That's not what our deck is going to do. This creature enters the battlefield +1 counter target creature. If that's another creature, it also gains the ability as printed below. So it gains double strike. Seems good. That discharge just hits permanents, though. It's like Virtual Loyalty, you can cast it for 2. Fury, you can cast it for free. Overlord, you can cast for 4. So realistically, our deck tops out at 4. Technically it doesn't, but you know what I mean. Lightning Helix, get in. Are we, like, Boros burn aggro? I think we are. So if that's the case, do I need Lion Sash? Lightning. Nothing here, so let's get rid of the clone. I don't want you to clone my stuff, please. Get rid of the counter? Get rid of the life gain. We don't want anybody else to gain life. Already cast an non-creature spell, I'll make a monk with prowess. Sundering Titan, get out of there. Yeah, we can take the land. And a Fire Blast. Does Fire Blast hit creatures or anything? We'll find out. Second. It hits any target. Okay. We have a lot of burn. So I think we get rid of... I want to keep Showdown because we don't have many other ways to draw cards. We get rid of Draconautics Engineer. Ghostfire Slice is any target. get rid of that is haste, phage burns. A creature you control attacks. This creature deals 1 damage. Yeah, that's burn. We play that on turn 4. Attack with a few things. Burn for some. Like, get rid of the virtue. Let's see. We have 17 lands. We have 29 cards. Did we get rid of the prismatic ending? Because it's going to cost X and a white. It's target non-value. Colors. Exile target non-land permanent if its mana value is less than or equal to the number of colors of mana spent to cast this spell. So if it's monocolored, we can just pay the white exile. Okay, so that's actually still good. Absent. Let's get rid of Unexpectedly Absent. Voice of Victory is still good. Overlord burns. Fire Blast burns. Mentor can go off within a couple of turns. Let's get rid of the Intrepid Adversary. It's aggressive. Is there anything we get rid of before the Adversary? Hazoret lets us throw cards at people. Turn 15, 16, 17. That's a 27. Let's throw in one more mountain and call it that. See what happens. Could get rid of the Figure Destiny too. It's more of just a mana sink, and we want to be going fast and hopefully not having to sink a bunch of mana into a card. But we'll find out. We'll get a game or two in with this deck, see what happens. And immediately, no. Alright, this is better. I'll get rid of the Ghost Fire. Because I really want to keep Hazoret and attack with him. On turn 4. I pet the cat. Don't hiss at me. One mana counterspell? Or, like, cut down? Oh, they were just fetching. Get the fancy lands. Say 4/4 Vigilance and Lifelink. Okay, okay. I see what you did. Block one. Not the voice, one of the tokens. Okay, fine. So they gain the 4 back, but we get to kill the token. They go 5 color too. They got 3, or they got. Yeah, no, they went 5 color as well. Is that just what this format is? Go 5 color decks? I haven't. Some There's two ways you can play Magic on computer. There's Arena and there's Magic the Gathering Online, which is their much older client, has all their much older cards on it. I used to play a ton of it as well. But on there, they call this similar format Vintage Cube, because Vintage is the old format where you can play all the old cards. What are they doing with their manas? If anything, they could just be holding back a counter spell. Another fetch. Black, red, blue, white, green. You're gonna play a Grim Lavamancer and a Hazoret the Fervent. And we're gonna attack with the Hazoret the Fervent. Land control enters, you gain 4 life. Oofa. And that fetches, and they get another 4 life. After they gonna play a third land. It's 4 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker they don't control. And I'm gonna concede. Maybe if we draft this again, we just play 5 color. Okay, I'll play one more game with this deck, and then we're gonna head over to Crash Bandicoot 4, which I've played like a tiny bit of Crash Bandicoot in my life, but I grew up a Nintendo kid and then transitioned to Xbox. Never had a PlayStation until like very late in the PlayStation 3 life cycle. I bought a used one. Played a few of the exclusives, God of War, stuff like that. I don't know I had a PlayStation 2, but I just never got into Crash Bandicoot, actually. So I did have a PlayStation. Excuse my fibbing. And Hellrider, these kinds of little ping effects, like Hellrider or Aristocrat strategy kind of things, are my favorite. Just bolt them. Why not? 3/2 double strike. Alright, so they're only going to have 2 mana this turn. It's a bold choice, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Yeah, 2 cards in their graveyard. So you can play like a Faithless Looting, then use Jace, and then Jace would flip. Then they could shrink the Death Greeter. Okay. So Jace isn't flipping this turn. We know that much. So they need 5 cards when this resolves, and they will only have 3 currently when this resolves. We do have a bunch of cards, though. let's just get rid of that. Exile to armor X, so you'll pay 1 for that. So now they have to play a blocker or get rid of the Death Reader champion. They could absolutely do both with 5 mana in those colors. I have one of those too! Cool. I'm glad you countered that. Nah, I'm not gonna pay for that. Yeah, let's... Because I gotta block. Look at this. That makes sense. The Death Greeter is lethal on its own, so you gotta get rid of it. Let's go with Hellrider into the Saktu Mountains to do 4 damage thing. Come on. Fury will do. I'm secretly fine with this. So now I have to do very little to win. I have a bunch of burn, bunch of haste creatures. They do have a bunch of cards in hand, and I don't, though, so... We will see. Ooh, Chandra, you say? So there goes the Hellrider.
Play with fire, huh?
Like I said, there goes the Hellrider. Mountain. Mountain. And we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose so bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more spell of some sort.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
They got like a lightning bolt. Oh yeah, that's game. There you go. That's 12, 13, 14. That was Xaxes. Alright, but with that, it is time to switch up to our middle game of the evening. We're crossing the Rubicon, the noontime hour. Let's open some packs first, actually. We said we'd do that. Crimson Vow first. Uvenwald Oddity transforms into a big monstery thing. You could actually pay to transform it, which usually wasn't the way in Cards of Innistrad. It usually depended on if it was night or day, or if they flipped like a werewolf card. But that was very cool. The Ceremonial Knife. Just some of the... That's why I like the flavor of some of these sets. Innistrad, where the plane where the set is... This set is set. That works. Is very, like, old school gothic horror kind of vibe. Like, you have the blood fountain at the vampire house party. You have big horrible creatures like this, and you have the kind of paladin type human knight here in Sigardian Paladin trying to fight against them. We have Kaladesh Remastered. I love one of my favorite sets that I've ever played anyway. It was a very... it was the first set that introduced vehicles, the card mechanic. And very artifact heavy, a lot of synergies with that. Speaking of artifact heavy, one of the best cards you can have in Commander and whatever, Panharmonicon. There's effect is stapled onto creatures nowadays. On other cards, there's a lot of different things that do this effect now, but this was a big one when it came out. 4 mana. If an artifact or creature entering causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Simple as that. So if you have something that says, when this creature enters, or target creature gains, when a creature enters, everything deals 2 damage. Cool. Happens twice. Deals 4 damage. When a creature enters, this happens twice. So it can get ridiculous real quick. But that's all the arena we're going to play for today.